I have something to say.
ArtFight is pretty cool. Okay, wait, please don't leave. I promise there's more. So, this is my first year doing ArtFight, and I wanted to talk to y'all about it. ArtFight is definitely something that made my July, and something that I'll totally be doing next year. And that's why I want to share my experience, the reasons why I stuck with ArtFight, and why I might even suggest ArtFight for other artists in the future. I also wanted to give you guys a mini sketchbook tour of all the attacks I did. People like those, right? Sketchbook tours? Oh, and before I forget, this video is just covering the highlights of my ArtFight experience. Since this was my first one, I don't really have other art fights to compare it to. And I'll admit, ArtFight probably isn't a perfect event. There are lots of other creators that have more in-depth videos on the pros and cons in ArtFight, and maybe some other critiques too, and I highly suggest you go watch those. But for this video, I want to keep things more lighthearted. But, with that out of the way, let me tell you how it all began. So, it all started at 3 a.m. You know, when only the best decisions are made? And a creator I'd been following for a while had just created some new OCs and mentioned she was putting them on ArtFight. And, well, one definitely caught my eye. So, I started drawing right away. I just wanted to make fan art, and before I knew it, the attack was finished. And it was supposed to stop there, but, That was the one push I needed. I was hooked, fallen down the ArtFight rabbit hole, if you will, and I decided that I would do ArtFight, but I only planned to attack. I just wanted to give it a shot. That is, until I got a comment on my profile. At this point, I had only done one other attack, and I wasn't expecting to get much attention. So I quickly made reference sheets for my two OCs, Sunny and Danny. But even after posting them, I wasn't expecting too much. I got my first attack within a few hours of posting my sheets, and that's when I knew I was gonna take this seriously. And the rest is history. I spent the rest of my July on an ArtFight high, and I was attacking and defending until just about the end of the month. Now, if it wasn't clear by the video itself, I only have the resources to do traditional art right now. But I figured that's no reason not to share my attacks. So, just as promised, here they are, in a sketchbook format. So, not gonna lie, don't really know what the storage situation is looking like, so this isn't gonna be the longest sketchbook tour in the world, but I did want to give every character name and kind of like my thoughts behind each attack that I did. So starting off, this is Cetus by Rin Spirit Art, and the little storyboards that I did, I was kind of trying to keep it discreet, like who I had done first, but yeah, her character design really caught my eye, and this was the one that kind of decided to draw on a whim, feel it out, see how it felt like to draw like someone else's like OC for the first time. And safe to say, I really got into it because this is probably the best sketch I have in here, to be honest. Even though it's like the first one, like I feel like anything else that I show, it's like, oh, right, it's probably not like as like refined as this sketch, and like I don't think any other man that like I draw is like nearly as like, I don't know, like mocking, like. But yeah, this is kind of my sketch. I was a little bummed, low-key, because I added this shape in the back and I feel like it ruined it. The sketch was a lot cooler without it, I promise. I think it's because it's so clunky, like maybe if it was more sharp here, and then I just added this little star because I was like, if it's gonna look awkward over here, I kind of need like something to balance it out on the side, low-key. So that's kind of why that's there. If I had the choice, I would have just left it a sketch. But yeah, super proud of this one. This is like what really encouraged me to like keep going, because I was like, okay, like I can do this. Like I can draw like other people's like OCs and like it'll be fine. Like I won't like totally hate it. So immediately after, I moved on to this sketch right here. Or not sketch, I mean, I guess this one's more finished. I definitely put a lot into this one for Stormith, because I started creators initially. I had heard about their OCs already in videos and stuff in the past, so it was easy to kind of make scenarios for any characters. So they had just dropped a lore video, and I have Cleo, Anya, and Romeo right here, and it's just them being silly, goofy, like obviously like kind of not teasing Anya, like they wouldn't like be making fun of her, but yeah, you can like stop and pause, read like the little comic if you need time. But going in order, so I actually stopped here drawing attacks for a second to make some reference sheets, which I wanted to show. I might make a video for these guys separate. I love them so much. They're my two OCs, Sunny and Danny. I have so many OCs, but these like are kind of my like first, like my originals, and I really wanted to include them in ArtFight this year if I was gonna include anybody. So yeah, Danny's kind of like my more like tough, like, oh, I don't care, like cool type, like super serious, like trying to keep things like on track. And then like Sunny's my super happy, super funny, like super smart, but like she's not like as locked in all the time. So I'd love to make a separate video on these guys. Let me know if you would want that. Sorry y'all, this is gonna be unedited because I've been working on this video for so long and I really want to get it out before ArtFight. But moving on, so we go back to more attacks. And here I actually have my first revenge. So this was like immediately after I posted one of my characters. I think I mentioned this, but like 2 hours after I posted them, bam, like attack, and it's on Sunny. So I try to include all the names. I forgot to mention, I try to include all the names of the artists that I attack, so you can go follow their ArtFight. I might have stuff linked in the description, but that might take a while, and I want to get this video out before like ArtFight becomes like not irrelevant, but you know, I don't want to be talking mid-August about ArtFight, if that makes sense. So I'll get this out as quick as possible, but for now, all of their ArtFight accounts are here if you want to like go and see their characters, find their social media, stuff like that. So first is Chrissy, who is actually my first revenge and attack on a non-creator. I didn't want my stuff to stay creator focused. Like I have quite a few pieces that are like that, but I also wanted to branch out, and this made it super easy because after getting my attack, it was like, oh, like they already have a character, like I have new direction, like this is where I can go. So this one, the line art, I'm not the most proud of it. I had like a phase where I was using like brush chip markers to do my line art because I'm super limited on supplies right now. And yeah, it's definitely pretty rough, pretty uneven. Like this part right here, I don't know, the green, like it really clashes with the blue. Like I don't know what I was thinking. I'm not a color genius, so I'm trying to figure out like color theory kind of as I go, or that was kind of my goal with ArtFight, to like get better at coloring, and I definitely succeeded in some areas more than others, but the goal was just like push, push, push. And I think for a first like attack that was a revenge, or like my first attack that was just like some OC, it's pretty okay. And I don't know, I'm not in love with the name thing that I kind of pulled out here. It's not bad, it's just it doesn't really match the theme of any other piece that I've done in here. And I don't know, not that it detracts, it just feels kind of out of place. But yeah, moving on. So after this point, I didn't have very many attacks because I just posted my characters, and I was kind of directionless because first ArtFight, right? So I was kind of going off of scrolling, so I moved on to Wilbur down here, and I was just going through the Discover page, and he was so cute. Like, y'all do not understand. Like, check out their account, like, the cutest, like, character ever. He got a little bit of story lore added later, which is a little bit more eerie, so even though, like, he's kind of, like, happy, jolly here, like, if you go, like, you might see a different story. But yeah, I wanted to not go, like, full illustration, because this, like, little chibi otter isn't, like, the peak of, like, illustrations, I guess. But yeah, I just wanted to do something like for the cute little guy, and I was like, okay, simple character, it wouldn't be too hard to pull something off. So yeah, here he is. I kind of did like a little background, like I didn't commit to like a full-on illustration, but like, I don't know, I just want to do the little guy justice. I remember being like kind of like proud of this little detail. I don't think it was like that noticeable in the end. I tried to make like his little highlights look like fish. But yeah, I submitted my Wilbur attack, and I was still on that ArtFight like high. Like I was like, I want to do more, like I can't stop, like it was so lethargic. So I actually moved on to another creator just because I didn't have any direction necessarily at that point. So I actually moved on to Zayler's character Uli. Did not do the girl justice with the forehead, I can't lie. I know she's sensitive, but the fisheye view was calling to me, and I really wanted to try something perspective. I don't know like how obvious it is here, but I drew the circle, drew the grid, the whole thing. And yeah, I got left with this. The coloring isn't something I'm super proud of either. Low-key, like, a lot of stuff overlaps. Same thing, I was still kind of like lining, so it feels like kind of shaky. But I don't know, the angle was kind of funny to me at the time. Like, the shading like kind of got on her forehead and stuff. Like, I think I went a little too far, but I don't know, it was fun. It was different to try something and commit. After that, though, I moved on to Galley. So I really wanted to do more creature designs. Like, my goal was to kind of get out of my comfort zone with just drawing people, because like that's like my main thing. Like you go through my sketchbook, it's like all people. but I wanted to try drawing animals because it's not something like I do often. So Gally is a dinosaur. I can't recall the name at the moment, but so cute. They're like the ones that like are really skinny and they have like the little like wings like on their arms. And then I loved like her hat. It was so cutie. So I just committed to kind of drawing like a chibi-fi version. I didn't commit to a full-on illustration or anything like that. I was a little nervous. I really didn't want to screw it up. So this is what I stuck with. But after that, I actually got another attack. So this is Cascade, and she was a revenge. I tried to revenge almost anyone that attacked me this year, and so she caught my eye the most. She was like really cute design. I was like, I'm a sucker for a high ponytail, low-key, so yeah, that was kind of my thought process there. The reference only had about like the shoulders up, so I couldn't like do anything more than that, but I mean, like the purple hair, like the ponytail, like she just seemed like a really cool character, which is definitely like what I'm more drawn to. As you'll see, like as I go through the sketchbook and it's like picking out characters, it's like, oh yeah, she's gonna pick like the cooler one. So yeah, that's Cascade. And then this one is for a mutual of mine that I had actually told that I wasn't doing ArtFight because I really didn't think I was gonna do it. And then like when I decided last minute to like go ahead and join in, I like reached out to like them immediately. I was like, hey, like I'm doing this, like I need your account, like I will like make an attack. So this is Golden Fin. Definitely another one that was like out of my comfort zone. Not the most proud of him. Clearly I do not know like cat anatomy to the most of like, I don't know, its extent. Like I'm not like the animal like master. So like his face still feels very human and kind of clunky. I don't know. And then like, I don't really draw a ton of fur and stuff. So like I tried to do this like color pencil thing, but not the worst thing in the world. It's just not my favorite. So I felt kind of bad, but like my other goal for ArtFight this year was like draw, commit, and then submit. Poet didn't even know what type. Like I was just gonna draw it, and even like if I hated it, I still wanted to like submit, take it as like a learning experience, and like keep moving forward so like the next one could be even better. And then like there's always next year, right? So I can always make another attack, I can always do justice, like I can always do studies, and like next ArtFight may have like something else in store for me. And then my last one here, this is Bao. They're also a revenge, I believe. And they were just like immediately caught my attention, which was so different for me because they had like other human-esque characters, but like funny that like the lizard is what I caught my attention, especially since like I'm normally like, oh, like let me draw like the human, right? But it came out so cute. I was so nervous. I was like looking up references like so frantically because I didn't want to screw it up. And it's very like a chibi-fied like anatomy. So like I tried to like make up for it by like kind of going back to my comfort zone of like, okay, hatching. So like it's not fully like colored, not fully rendered by any means, but I don't know. I felt like it still gave it that like texture feel while like still having that cool demeanor. So yeah. I kind of backtracked a little bit. I didn't know how far I wanted to commit with ArtFight, so I had like my first attacks and then my character references to fill in some space, and I was like, oh, I have one more like page left in like my sketchbook, like I'll go ahead and just like go backwards, fill this one in, and then have the rest be ArtFight. So moving forward, now I was like really like kind of in the thick of it. Like I'd fallen down the rabbit hole, like I was committed. So here I have Neptune. It got to a point where I was starting to just draw the like my followers like characters or sonas. So Neptune is a D&D sona. Super cute design. Check them out. I loved it so much. I only was able to capture them from the, I don't know, like bust up, but like their design further down is so gorgeous. So I got Afterguts, and then I did a little more scrolling and I found this artist Noodle, and I feel so bad because I feel like I did not do their character justice. Like, first of all, like it's super like not small in scale. Like this is how big it is like compared to my hand. So if I could go closer to like show you some of the details, but like even then like that doesn't really redeem it, low-key. Like I don't know. I definitely wanted to try drawing people like of all different like ethnicities like as I was going like through this, because like I really want to like grow. Like I don't want to be stuck to one type. So like I was really trying here. I don't think acrylic markers was like the safest bet. Like I took a risk and it definitely didn't pay off. That was kind of something that I've been trying to do is like through this ArtFight was like just take the risk. Like if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then if it does, like great, like that's awesome. Like I'm glad that happened. But yeah, the artists seem to like it. I don't know. It's just not my favorite. Like I definitely want to do a redemption piece like next year. Everything just feels like kind of like cluttered, smushed, like a lot of details are lost. And I just like, y'all don't understand. Like her name is Goldie and like she's like so like gorgeous. Like I did not do her justice. So like if you go look at Noodle's channel, like see her in all her glory, and like I want to do so much better next year. But yeah, this is moving on. This is Pythor. Loved his design so much. Like I don't know, like he was just so cute. Like I love drawing like buff guys, I guess. Not that like I'm like the best in the world at it, but his design immediately caught my attention. He was also a revenge. Like I remember getting an attack from Pillow Draws and I was like, whoa, like this is so cool, like got a revenge, like immediately. And I saw this character, immediately caught my eye. I love the way that the line work turned out here. Like I can't explain it. It's super like thin and like he's like super like, I don't know, like bulky character, but like it still like works out. Like even though like my line art is like way thicker here, like on the shirt, like it doesn't affect the look, like the overall look. Even like the hair is kind of off and like it's not the same color. I was super limited on my color palette and art materials this year. I had a few paint markers, some color pencils, and then like a super small like watercolor palette. Like that's what I had to work with. So I was like trying to color match here. It was not working. Everything was too green. I still kind of think his hair is a little too green, to be honest. It was supposed to like be more on the brown side, but I was really trying to like just get it together. And when the outline turned out to be more neon green, if anything, I was like, this isn't gonna work. I just went in pen, and it turns out that this is actually one of the ones that I like more than less. So it's kind of funny how that works out. But yeah, this is Pythor. And then I went back to creators that I follow, just kind of get back in my comfort zone. It's like, okay, like I went a little bit out of my range and now like, let's just go back, just do a light sketch. I think it was getting really late at this point, so I didn't have the energy to commit to anything full, but there's this webtoon, not webtoon, but like online comic artist that I follow named Star at the Starfish Face, and she had been doing a bunch of character OC videos, but like not like her main comic OCs, but like separate things that she designed like based off random D&D traits. So one of them is Vesper, and she is so cute and definitely like a sucker for cute characters also. But like I also kind of wanted to draw her being like battle tough because like she really wants to be this knight. So like I just had this like headcanon of her like fighting till the end. So like I wanted to get that out in sketch. I was like, okay, this can be like the last thing I submit before I go to bed. Like something that she could still see, but obviously something that doesn't need like a revenge or anything crazy. So that's my little sketch of Vesper. I'm actually really proud of it. I don't draw fantasy aspects as much as I'd like, which kind of stinks because I love the genre. But yeah, super proud of, I don't know, like what the scene captures, even though it's not fully drawn out. But I was trying to do a lot of stuff like, oh, like this would be like in the foreground because it's darker, and this would be further back because it's lighter. Just looked up a lot of like Battlefield like inspo online. So I really like how this one turned out. And then back out of my comfort zone, not perfect. I got followed by Dreamy, and I was looking through their characters, and I was like, oh my gosh, like Roxy is so cool. Like I said, like the cool character archetype is totally what I'm sticking to. So I don't know if it's super noticeable. I can kind of hold the sketchbook up closer. I was trying to do like a yellow orange like mix of line art with my pens. I don't know like how well like that translated, but yeah, I definitely want to like capture that like cosmic like flaming aspect. Her character is like so cool. So like go check it out. And then moving on, this was just another follower drawing, follower OC. But yeah, I loved like their design so much. This person had so many fantasy OCs going on, and like Rook was like a fighter, and like I just loved her aesthetic. So I was like, okay, like warm up pose immediately came to mind. I was like, let's go, let's do this. So it's just, yeah, her character getting ready for a fight. This one, I'm kind of disappointed. I just committed to the line art because I was nervous at this point that I was gonna mess up my drawing with my coloring. Like I didn't want to go back to this, and I feel like maybe I should have colored her out, but I was too scared. So this was just another line art one. Not that it turned out bad, I just think like didn't reach its full potential for sure. And then here, moving on, more follower stuff, people that like have attacked. So here is by my follower Misa. I hope I'm saying that right. And their character's name was Naija, and I really hope I'm saying that right, guys. I looked it up like 3 times, but yeah, Pokemon OC, and it wasn't necessarily like a hand-drawn reference sheet. I think it was a clip from the new Pokemon game, Champions, Masters, I'm not really sure, but what immediately caught my eye was in the description, their Pokemon like partner was Luxray, and I'd been playing a lot of Detective Pikachu at the time, and I was like, oh my gosh, like the mini game, like I know like how I want to pose this, like I'm gonna make their OC look so cool. Another one where it's like in scale, like in comparison to my hand, it's not very big, so I just didn't commit. Like I low-key just did the line art and like bare minimum coloring, and I was like, okay, like I'm not gonna touch it anymore, like I don't want to screw it up. So same thing with Melsona here, Cami, and I feel really bad because it's the same thing. Like I like the sketches, I didn't want to mess it up, so I just did line art, and while I think these are really cute, it's like if I had committed to full-on color, like I think that they maybe could have been better. Like it would have been a gamble, but I don't know. I look at these and I kind of like regret a little bit, but I kind of grow out of that a little bit later, and line art turns into a thing of time, not so much I'm not confident enough in my coloring abilities. So luckily I kind of came out of that rut after I was doing a revenge, I believe, on Cha, or not a revenge, just a follower, but her character is so cute. Like, she's just like this little like water creature, and like I know her lore is kind of sad, but I just wanted her to be like this like happy like go lucky like kid. So I don't know, I had this like concept of like an ocean walkway. This is also where I kind of got into like watercolor for the first time. I don't think it's super obvious. A lot of it was still acrylic, like her whole character, but I don't know, I was just experimenting. I was like, okay, maybe I can do this. I had already done line art and the marker medium and a little bit of color pencil, and I was like, okay, let me take it one step further, like let me really push. So yeah, that's like her little fish form. She's just like looking at her little fish shelf, and like their other fish are like going about like their day. It's just like a really cute piece. Like I actually like don't hate the composition at all. Obviously I wish like some coloring aspects could be improved, but you know. Here is just a bunch of characters. Obviously I had kind of started going away from illustrations and like falling back into, okay, like I'm just gonna draw a character, and then whatever space I have left, like try and squeeze in as like much as I can. So I actually started up here because I had seen this YouTuber's short just talking about their ArtFight experience, and I was like, oh, like, you know, that's really cool, like I'll go check him out. So this is Kamari, and it was super late at night, so as most of my ArtFight attacks were, so I only had time for a sketch for this guy, but his design is so cool, and I definitely like wanted to capture his aura if anything, and if I couldn't get that, then I don't know, I was kind of screwed because I didn't have like coloring to back me up. But yeah, don't hate how this one turned out. Maybe if I had like the access to digital art, like I would have committed and done more with his coloring, but I feel like this is pretty okay. And then I have Raining Stars over here. I believe they might have been Ace at the time, but I believe now they're Arrow. Like the page has been updated, like there's more character lore for him. But yeah, this was a revenge, and he was just like a silly like little guy. Like obviously like he has like a darker side to his lore, but I don't know. He was like super silly, like goofy also. Like he has this like cute little like chibi like sprite in his reference, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna capture like that energy. So yeah, definitely liked how this one turned out. Not sold on the coloring, but the composition is fun, I think. And then I don't know if anyone else has been watching Zombie Stage. I was dying. And so when I saw this person had an alien stage OC, I was all over that. I wanted to do something more like kind of anime-esque. Like my style definitely has like inspo from that, but like I really wanted to do like the big like eyes. I wouldn't call them like shoujo eyes or anything, but yeah, I just wanted to do something super different. I even like committed to watercolor to like make it more soft, kind of like out of my comfort zone, but not in that it's like a new skill. It's just like more not cartoony than I'm used to. But yeah, so watercolor piece, 50-50 on it. I try to reference a lot of, you know, stuff to get the lighting down, and I think lighting is something that I still have a lot to learn about. This feels like really like dark and muddy, and that could just be an effect of the colors that I was using. But yeah, it's not like the worst thing in the world. I actually like really like the sketch and stuff a lot. I just think there's like a lot of room for improvement, and I wish I could have done her more justice. And then I didn't post this in the art fight, but it's just a little doodle. She didn't have an outfit. Her name is Yuna, sorry, she didn't have an outfit, but this was like a little planning thing. But if you play Fire Emblem Heroes, I don't know, it's looking a little too similar to another character, but I don't know. I was short on time, I was like, okay, this is fine, like, I got it, move on. And then over here, I believe his name is Anthanasios. Their design was so cool. Like, I don't know, I like the concept of them being like a hot guy like in the cold, like what's it called, like not like the Arctic, but like you know what I'm trying to say, like it's like a super like snowy like area, but like it doesn't bother him, which like I wish was me because I like absolutely hate the cold. So it was definitely like inspired by his design and his character. I was like, aw. So I wanted to do like a little like lighting like while he was in the snow. Same thing where I was being kind of shy with my watercolor, so all my values are like super like light, and like I don't know, I feel like they all kind of blend together, and it's a lot less like desaturated than I would have wanted. So I think it suffers from like a lack of commitment, but I don't know, I think the composition is still like really fun and cute. So yeah. And then I found SB, which is Smile's Sona, and I don't know, I just thought it was like really cool. So I just drew out their Sona, and this one definitely bummed me out because I didn't necessarily have the right color palette for it. And like the colors aren't a total one-to-one, but like I loved their shirt so much. So it was like already a cat, but like I wanted to draw it like also facing the camera, and I wanted to capture like a lot of flow like with their antenna and their tail. So that's how that one kind of came to be. And then this one, I believe their name is Cameron, immediately caught my eye with the design at first, but then the story really caught my attention because this person's story takes place in the real world and the D&D world. So I thought it would be cool to like capture like both sides. At this point I had drawn these two and I had like this like awkward like space in between. So I was like, okay, like I don't think I could fit like just a character and just a character. Like I'd already had the names written out. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just do like whatever can fit. So like I would like try and like squeeze them, and then yeah, the rest is history. I was able to like fit them in their spaces, and then I know I wanted to do a grayscale here of the real world just so the D&D world one could stick out that much more. But yeah, definitely go read up on their lore. It's really interesting, really neat. Here ArtFight was getting closer to the end, so I really got more into an illustration kind of phase just because I didn't know like when I was gonna have to stop. And something about me is like I need like my sketchbook to have like concrete ending points. Like I didn't want to have like a blank page like left on the sides, so I started doing like half spreads because I wasn't sure how much further I was gonna take it. This was for Morphine. This is our character Mackenzie. I love the sketch, didn't want to mess it up, so I left it at just that, just a sketch, and I'm really upset about it because I think this was another one where I didn't take the risk, and I try to make up for it later. You'll see what I'm talking about, but yeah, not the not the most intriguing piece just because like I submitted it, but I didn't feel really great about it, so I try to make up for it later. These are Starbea's OCs, Merrick and Nympha. I found this creator because of some of like their animation work. Their characters are like so cute. Like they have that fantasy like kind of style, but they're also definitely more unique in their design where like they're like more like creatures and like variants. And I was like, that's where I want to be. Like when I can stray away from like just drawing like people and I can like start designing stuff like this. So they're super creative, love their stuff. Like I've been wanting to do like an art piece for them for a long time, and this just felt like the right moment. So yeah, it's just for two OCs like goofing around. Like their lore is like they grew up like around like an apple orchard, so like it's kind of hard to see. I don't know if that like registers as apple, but yeah, just the two of them goofing off in like the little apple field. Then I have Nav here, who also caught my attention just from someone else that I'd followed, and not a show I would recommend to anybody for obvious reasons, but the Chainsmoker Cat opening was like really trending at this time, and her character was a smoker. Nav was a smoker. There's this really cool scene in the opening because it's known for like referencing all these movies. So I made sure to credit, but I definitely wanted to like try that composition because this guy like works at a cafe, like he's a bodyguard and he's just trying to do his best. And I was like, okay, he's also like smoking. Like, how can I make this like edgy? Like canonically, he's like kind of like a neat character, but I really wanted to do him justice. So yeah, I definitely wanted like a more like cool, edgy vibe here. Same thing with all my other watercolor pieces. It's not fully drawn out, and the colors are not as like deep and saturated as I'd want them to be, but we live, we learn, we move on, right? So that was that illustration. Here I was super proud of this one because I got to do a comic again for the first time in ages. Like I love like freehanding comics. Like they're never going to be like anything like professional grade, but I think, oh my gosh, the lighting. Let me see if I can. What was I saying? Oh yeah, like they're never like the most professional, but like I just think it's fun like to figure out like character dialogue, character interactions. So yeah, this is Reaper, and this person's art like caught my eyes immediately. At Audacity Art, super like comic-y style, super cool superhero OCs, like vigilante OCs. So I was just trying to capture Reaper's like just like fun energy because he's like a superhero, but not really. Like he doesn't have a ton of permission to go do his thing. So yeah, I have him like zooming, and then like he pops out. I was like, whoa, color. So took me a long time, but I'm super proud of this one, and the points definitely reflected how much effort went into it. Like I think at the end, like I had submitted like I drew 8 Reapers, so yeah, love how that one came out. And then here, June had actually posted that it was Apollo's birthday, and I was on the fence about drawing some of her characters. Like I had been looking, and like I love all their designs, but I don't know, just in comparison to other original characters, I didn't know if I wanted to do another like creator piece like this soon into like my ArtFight like challenge. But when she posted about Apollo's birthday, I was like, okay, I have to do something. So like I didn't go like all out. I just did a sketch. But I really like this one. It has Apollo, Cynthia, and Aloe, and then I like the little Apollo cupcake that I tried to like draw here. Yeah, just a little something for the guy's birthday. And then since I was only doing pencil, I don't know, I tried something different. Like, I outlined the first two, but like didn't really outline Cynthia, because if you know, she's not really there. But yeah, super proud of how this one came out, actually. I love the composition. Would have done more if I had more time, but yeah, not bad for what it is at all. This page, this was for the Corey, which there are these Maximum Moro and Sako and Vivo. They've been following me, and I don't know, I thought like their Cs were really cool, really different. Like their setting was super different also than some of the stuff I'd been seeing. And like it's funny because they're so like vastly different. Like, you have like futuristic, like sci-fi, like robot, and then like you kind of have like more whimsical, like gesture type, and they're actually maybe not together, but like they definitely like flirt with each other a little bit in the lore. And it's always like, oh, like grumpy robot versus like happy clown. Like, yes, like absolutely. So I'm not sold on like the scene that I gave them for their character interactions, low-key, but yeah, I don't know. They look happy. I like their expressions and stuff, just like, I don't know, it feels kind of like blank, like aside from the characters, but like I did my best here. It was getting kind of late here, so this page I'm not the most proud of it, if I can be honest. This was a revenge that I did for Morning Tao, and this is our character Diomedes. He has like a tiger familiar. I heard like tiger, and I was like, oh my gosh, opportunity to draw like an animal, like this is my chance, like this is where I grow. So I just drew like Diomedes right quick, and then like a pencil like tiger behind him. And I don't know, like I think it's kind of cool, but like I feel like I didn't go all out, and like that's how I feel here too. Like for Kira, I was really just scrolling, found their character, like loved their design a lot, so I just did like a headshot. It was getting late, like I was running out of time, and then like I still didn't feel like I did my best here. So apologies if you're watching this. I definitely want to have like a redemption next to ArtFight. Like I don't think it's like bad, but I just don't think it's like my full like the best I could have done. And then same here. This was a revenge on Pink Slime. This is our character Rosa, and like this is probably like my least favorite one. Not because our character is bad, but I think like I was trying to like prove something to myself. Like I was really trying to like fix like what I considered to be my like last two mistakes, and like I just couldn't do it. And it clearly doesn't like reflect in this drawing either. So at that point I had stopped. I was like, okay, like go to sleep, take a step back, and we'll come back the next day and do some more attacks. So definitely we'll get justice on for these guys next year. But I wanted to do something. Like I wanted like some kind of revenge, and I really felt like I was running out of time here. Yeah. So now I have two illustrations. This one is for Lee Dixie, very similar to Starbea. Found them just like through like the animation content online, and they're so talented. Like they did such a good job. So I wanted to do something for their character Ayaka. Like I had a scene in mind, like I already had an idea of kind of who her character was. So it was really easy to get the sketch down. When it came to the illustration, I'm not totally sold. I don't know if I needed to commit to more shading. I don't know, I feel like my colors feel super basic, like red, blue, green, the whole thing. Not my favorite coloring job I've done in the world, but I don't know, I thought the composition was cool. She doesn't look horrible. She looks pretty cute. I feel like I could have done better, looky. Here was for Shady Margarita, and their design of their character Lion immediately caught my eye. So cool. I don't know, it was just a design that was like, oh, that's like different, like the lion like plus the wings, but like I don't know how to explain, like it really fit. And then they saw like they had this character named June who tags along with Lion, found them, named them, the whole thing. So I wanted to draw it to scale. Lion is supposed to be like massive, like a human in reality is only supposed to be like this big. Like I didn't get like the scaling 100% right. But yeah, I wanted to depict it being super protective of June, and this was just like, oh, like meeting them like in the forest, but like the lion's like on guard and like ready to like stop you just in case like anything like were to happen. Not totally sold on the background of this one. I love the composition, but I clearly don't know lion anatomy. And yeah, I feel like the background's kind of lacking. And yeah, I feel like the background's kind of lacking. And yeah, I feel like the background's kind of lacking. So, my footage did cut out at this point. Luckily, I only had one spread left, and I still plan to show it to you guys. Just know it's not necessarily going to be a part of the video. But yeah, I'll be talking about these in order of left to right, top to bottom. So here on the left, this is the only chain of attacks that I guess I took part in. It's Morpheme's character, Antonio. So I had drawn the Mackenzie, their pirate, in the past, but I didn't really like how it came out. I felt like I hadn't done their character justice, and on top of that, they ended up revenging me with a fully colored illustration of my character Danny. So I just had to do them right. Here on the top right, I have the characters Iridina and Calypso by Emma Echoes, and when I read their lore, they're actually both in school, so a high school AU immediately came to mind. And that's kind of where I feel like I fell a little bit short. Don't get me wrong, I think the piece came out really, really good. But the fact that it has no color, trust me, if you guys saw their reference sheets, like, they're so, like, beautiful and, like, vibrant. And I just wasn't able to capture that in the black and white. I think maybe I shouldn't have gone down this route, but that's okay. And in the bottom left, I have Dara Clark's character, Gadget. I loved her story, something about exploring a nightmare realm. I felt like it left a lot open for interpretation, so the background was a fun concept that I had making. But yeah, the colors are okay. Still very much working through color theory and lighting and all the things, but I don't totally hate how it came out. And finally, in the bottom right, I have Danica by It's Cow. And I really liked her concept because she was definitely an older character. Not anything like super crazy, she's 23, but a lot of the range of characters I draw tend to be high school, super young college age. So this was definitely a challenge for me. I also really liked the way that some of her facial features were, and I tried my best to capture that. And of course, the color pencil coloring is a bit different than most of the attacks I've done, but yeah. Okay, so to close out the video, I actually wanted to give some of the things that I really loved about ArtFight, or things that I thought were super helpful to me as an artist. I know ArtFight isn't perfect, but I think anyone that does it can at least get these benefits, and that can really help anyone on their art journey. So yeah, here's some of my whys for ArtFight. Hey y'all, so it's Scholar Gray here. Quick confession, all of these little whiteboard segments I recorded to be way too long, so some of these might turn out more yappy than expected, but just gotta commit. 2 minutes is a while, so here I go. My first why was definitely going out of my comfort zone. So as you can see here, things like backgrounds, shading, and perspective weren't always things that I stayed away from. Like, I would never try to do them, and they were always in the back of my mind, like I knew I needed to do it to improve, but if I was going to do them and my art was going to turn out horrible, like, why would I do that? Like, it just seems counterintuitive, right? But I decided to go through with it because my art wasn't for me anymore. It started to be for other people, and I wanted to do the absolute best for them. So in a lot of my sketchbook tour, I talked about risks and, like, some paying off more than others. And, like, when they didn't, don't get me wrong, like, it sucked. When my shading was awful, like, I was absolutely crushed. When a background didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, like, I felt weighed down because I felt like it might not have made the piece able to reach its full potential. But at the end of the day, I did grow from it. Like, I don't know if it's as noticeable as, like, I go through my attacks, but I feel like each one got a little bit better. And even if, like, one skill, like, for example, my watercolor started out, like, kind of just okay, like, you could see some improvement, right? I mean, I sure hope so. Otherwise, this part is kind of a waste. But, yeah, it was just something that really made me realize, like, where I need to grow as an artist and the risks that I need to be willing to take, like, in all, like, my pieces going forward, not even necessarily just ArtFight, like, when that comes around next year. Like, I need to be doing this all the time. But, yeah, that's about it I have for going out of your comfort zone, and I will see you again in a hot second. Well, and I'm back in. Hey, so, my next point would probably be that ArtFight helped me draw a lot more frequently. I've definitely been struggling with a lot of burnout and just lack of motivation to do stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I've had ideas, like, I have characters that I love, fan art that I'd love to make, original concepts, ideas, but, like, I can never just bring myself to draw. And this kind of ties into my last point of just being able to rally around art for others. But when it's not for myself anymore, like, the motivation was there. Like, it didn't matter if I didn't have a concept. I would just go on ArtFight, scroll, find the next character that, like, I wanted to do, like, the next person that I wanted to give, like, a little art piece to, and I could. And so I was drawing all hours. Like, my sleep schedule totally screwed,
But I mean, I think it was so worth it to kind of get that artistic passion back, like morning, like afternoon, evening, like from sunrise to sunset. Like you can bet like I had my sketchbook, like if I was just sitting there, like I was like, no, wait, like I can do something art fight related. And I think that that really helped me grow my art journey as well. Like even if it wasn't as technical, even if it wasn't I'm getting X skill, it was more so practice not makes perfect, but like practice helps you get better in a sense. And I think I watched like my art style truly develop as I went on. I don't think like the difference is the most noticeable thing in the world. Like I don't think it's night and day. But like drawing is just going to make you better and get you closer to where you want to be. Like with every illustration, like I found out like a new feeling I'd want to capture, or like I take like a little note away for next time. Like you can see a lot of me experimenting with colored line art or just standard stuff. So yeah, drawing frequently definitely helps. That would be my tip number 2. See you later. Okay, so when I meant see you later, I actually meant see you now. I have one more point. Something that I'd kind of mentioned in the last 2, but my big like third why for art fight was the power of giving. I've never been super big on social media. Like this is my first video. I'm really excited to start getting my stuff out there. So I didn't know what it felt like to receive fan art or like for people to actually see the stuff you create. Everything I'd been doing for myself, I kind of been for me at this point. But like when I got my first attack, like I kind of showed it in my storyboards earlier, but it truly is something special. And like the thought that I could do that for other people, like I was instantly on board. For me, like art fight was never about like the attacks like I did receive, although like don't get me wrong, they were great. But obviously, like, I didn't get an attack back for every attack that I did, or I guess a revenge. Like, it was just a matter of me going out and it's like, I want to be able to make, like, other people feel that way. Like, I didn't realize I could possibly be this good. Like, I started art fight and I was like, it couldn't possibly be that great. But, dude, I was so wrong. So, yeah, my bio was, like, summer, Christmas in July, something like that, something stupid. Like, Secret Santa who, like, here to give art and, like, dip out, or something like that. And that was just my goal. Like, I just wanted to be, like, this, like, jolly giver, like, hence a little, like, Santa in the corner, because, I don't know, like, even, like, sharing my art, like, with other people, too, is, like, a total, like, plus. So, it's a win-win for everyone, like, you get, like, art, but, like, other people also get art. I know, like, there's a lot of, like, comments on how art fight isn't fair, or people will just attack popular creators or friends, and it can actually be a really toxic space. But I think if you go into it with the mindset of, I'm gonna give, I know what it feels like to receive, I mean, it can just really boost, like, your own mood and others as well. So, yeah, I thought that was also pretty cool. Hey y'all, congrats, you've made it to the end card. Thank you for watching my video all the way through. Unless you skip to the end, then, this is awkward. First end card, let's go. Okay, so do y'all know that video where it's like, I forget if it's like law school or medical school, but there's like this girlfriend and like her boyfriend's like coming back and he's like, she doesn't know if he passed and she's like, oh, like I got you this like cookie cake. And like it's like, yay, you passed, but then like he finds like she ordered like another one that's like, oh, like you failed. And like that's okay. Well, that's kind of what happened with this end card. So first art fight, right? Did not know that they were going to release the winners this late. So I actually have 3 end cards, one for Team Comedy 1 and then 2 like others of me LARPing as the other team. So, those will be like rotating like as I'm recording this. But let me know what other content y'all may want in the future. I'm working on a one-shot right now. I have a ton of OCs that I'd love to talk about, and I'd even love to do some more animation stuff, even if it has to be on paper. Like, this was definitely a challenge, like even just storyboarding like my little thoughts, but it was so much fun and I'd be so down to do it again. Yeah, like, subscribe. That's something that YouTubers say, right? This blanket is getting really hot, but have a great rest of your day and tell someone you love them. See you later, skaters. Sketchbook tour.